So this is a question about nylon 66. So it says nylon 66 is an example of a synthetic polymer made from the monomers 1,6-diaminohexane and hexane 1,6-dioic acid. Using nylon 66, describe using a structural equation the process of condensation polymerization. So this is our keyword here. We have to explain condensation polymerization. Okay? And so they told us the monomers that we're starting out with. These are our monomers. So the first thing that we're going to have to do, because we have to use structural equation, is we're going to have to go ahead and draw out those monomers. So I'm going to draw my 1,6-diaminohexane first. And this is what that one looks like. So it's going to have an amine group on both ends. So here's my amine group, my NH2. And then in the middle, I'm going to have CH2. And there's 6 of those. And then I'll have another amine on the end, okay? So this is my 1,6-diaminohexane, okay? And then I'm going to go ahead now and I'm going to draw my hexane 1,6-dioic acid. And so that's a diacid. So I'm going to have a carboxylic acid group on one end. And then I'm going to have my hydrocarbon backbone in the middle. That's comprised of CH2, 4 of them. And then on the other end, I will have another carboxylic acid group. Okay? So when we think about condensation now, the parts of the molecule that can condense off or react are going to react together, the functionalities, right? And so we have an amine and a carboxylic acid, right? At the end of the day, when we break it all the way down, we have an amine group and a carboxylic acid group. And we know that those two, they react together to form an amide, right? So we're going to get here, nylon is actually a polyamide. So let's write that down, that nylon is a polyamide, right? And so what's going to happen with generally when the carboxylic acid takes part in this kind of a amide formation, what we have is a breakage here, right? The whole OH portion comes off and condenses off with a hydrogen from the amine. And so that's our condensation product there. We're going to get water leaving, right? So we know that water is going to get eliminated from these two coming together. And then what's going to happen now is that we're going to have the remaining portion of the molecule. I'm just going to put a little continuation bond there. Have one H here. And then I'm just drawing one repeating unit. So one of the units that form from the condensation. So we're taking out the water. And so what we have left is this CH2, 6, N, H. And now the N is going to bond to the CO, right? Forming our amide linkage. And then the rest of the molecule there from the diacid is gonna remain there. And then the C double bond O. And I'm gonna just put a continuation bond, assuming that that would have went on to polymerize with other amine molecules. So I'm just gonna cut it right here. We call that little dash line at the end a continuation bond. It shows you that the molecule can continue based on how many monomers you have. But I just use one of each to show you the formation of the polyamide. So the amide linkage, which is right here in the middle. Right, so this is going to be my amide linkage that connects both monomers. So that's my amide linkage. And then as a whole, we call this a repeating unit because this is the unit that's going to continue to repeat up to n number of times, right? So we can put like an n beside it and just say that this is what we call our repeating unit. And that repeats based on how many monomers you used, okay? Repeating unit. All right, but at the end of the day, we have our nylon 66, a repeating unit. And the important points to note here is that we have a condensation and elimination product, which is water that gets eliminated. We have an amide linkage that gets formed to connect both monomers into a polymer. And then we have a repeating unit shown. Okay, so that's really what condensation polymerization entails. You're going to get a small molecule that condenses up, and then you get now a larger structure known as a polymer, a condensation polymer. Okay? And so with that, we've come to the end of this question. Definitely give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and if you look on your left here, you'll see the next video up. And if you look on the right here, you'll find our Module 1 playlist with tons of interesting content that will be helpful in getting you prepared for your exam. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in our next video.